Okay, so here we are for another episode of It's Not Baby's First Bravo. Let's call it. We'll come up with a name later. Okay, so it's another deck tech. We're looking at a new deck I built. I attended another Armory event today at, as some of you might know, Versus Gaming in the Oviedo Mall in Oviedo, Florida. So we were hanging out there. I was playing Bravo again today, and I got stomped. A lot of it was there were a lot of bad mistakes, which actually I got to talk to AJ over at Adventure Co Gaming and Ryan at Adventure Co Gaming about afterwards. So it's really got me thinking about my choices, about my deck building, about what I'm trying to do with a deck. And I think what I'm trying to do now is to shake it up and stop playing Bravo for a little bit. I got shown a kind of aggro Viserai deck list this week. And I think it just kind of, and it got second place in the event that it was in. And it kind of just made me think about Viz again and how I enjoyed playing him when I was playing Viz in CC. So I think I'm going to give Viz another try. So let's go ahead and we'll just chit chat about Viz a little bit here. I'm just double checking that the mic's not peaking like it did in that last video. Yep, okay, we look good. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through this one more again. We'll go do this new deck. Viserai, whatever the name we come up with later. So our equipment loadout is pretty standard for Viserai. Nebula Blade, Arcanite Skullcap, Bloodchief Skeleton, Crown of Dichotomy, Grasp of the Arknight are our mains. I've got Mage Master boots in here. It facilitates a little bit of a little bit more go wide for Viz. I can, read the runes into an attack or, other things. We'll go over it when we get there. Null Rune Boots is a swap in if I'm, versing someone else who might have some more arcane, Kano or anything like that. I do have Arcane Barrier as well on Crown, but just in case I think I might need to, I can swap it out if I think that's going to be a problem. Okay, so let's go over the actual cards. Amplify the Arknight, running the reds and the yellows. I think they're just they're strong attacks and they're possibly free without getting kind of in the way. Because I feel like if you run blue Amplify, um, it just kind of feels bad to pop all those rune chants for a 4 attack. Arknight Ascendancy, obviously, you're playing Viserai, you got to throw this in here. It's too good. Honestly, it's too good. Cadaverous Contraband to get a little recursion on those non-attack actions like my Mordred Tides and stuff like that. Because if I have to, like, God forbid you draw one first turn and you have to block with it, I can use Cadaverous Contraband to get it back. Um, Command and Conquer, it's a really good card, so we're playing it. And we've got Mordred Tide here. It's a great card. You gotta it's an auto include, honestly, if you're going for a Rune Chant heavy build. Sink Below, I put in there as one of the defense reactions I have. At one point, I had it at 3 sinks. I have switched a few out for Fate for Scenes. I think Fate for Scene might just be a better defense reaction in this, but occasionally a Sink Below will help if I want to bottom something that's actually in my hand already. 2 Razor Reflexes, that is obviously for the Nebula Blade, really, but it can also be facilitated on, I think there's some Vexing Malices down here. There's a few other cards where I can get something go again, which normally I'm going to use it on, honestly, let's be real, like 80% of the time it's probably going to be Razor. I mean, it's probably going to be Nebula Blade, but to just get that damage through and create that rune chant, but you never know. Oath of the Arknight, it increases the attack of any Runeblade attack, and that's not attack action card. It is any Runeblade attack, which means Nebula Blade counts. So I could Oath into Nebula and swing Nebula for well, I just blanked. It could either 4 or up to 7. And that's a really big Nebula swing. It also creates a rune chant before it, and theoretically, if it hits after it. Read the runes. So you got the 3 rune chants that you get off that. Amazing. This is one of the things I'll Mage Masters. I'll Mage Master read the runes into an attack. Reduced rune chants playing the reds and the yellows. Obviously, the reds definitely are an include in this. The yellows, I think, are good enough and they create more rune chants. Block for 3 isn't superb, but it is a defense reaction and it's free if I have a rune chant already out, and it only costs 1 if I don't. So, um, Vexing Malice, I am playing 2 reds and 3 blues. I think this attack is relatively good. 1 for 3, and the 2 arcane on the red is very good. I think arcane damage late game and arcane damage in against certain builds is very good. The blues are there mostly for just I pitch them the entire game, and if it comes down to like a late game where I don't have much left and I need to go in for just some more arcane damage, it's a good way to do it. Slogism is only a one of, just because I think it's too expensive most of the time for when I want to do something if I don't have rune chance, so I don't want it to sit dead in my hand. But if I do have rune chance, I can, and I feel it's the opportune moment to crack Blood Sheath. I could crack Blood Sheath and go into just a big turn. You could slog into Arknight Ascendancy, or slog into, a buff, a slog into an Oath of the Arknight into an Arknight Ascendancy. It can easily get bonkers if you can crack Blood Sheath and then slog, and then you have a full hand to play out a turn. Sonata Arcanix, I've only got a one of. I'm not doing the Sonata Sayonara OTK build. Shout out to those that do. Lovely, lovely fun build, but I don't think it's consistent enough, and I just don't like OTK builds. It's just a personal thing. I don't care what OTK build it is, and even if it was doing well, I don't care if somebody's like, yeah, top 8's every event. I'd just still be like, I just don't want to play an OTK build. People be like, you're crazy. You could really put out good results. And I'd be like, yeah, but I'd be playing an OTK build, and I just don't want to. I'd be very stubborn about it. I've got a one of Sutcliffe's research notes, just as some rune chant generation, and also another action that I could play to get more rune chants from Viz. Warmonger's Recital, playing a 3 of the red. It gets that action before, and it gets the buff, and it can keep attacks in my deck rather than actually seeing them go to the graveyard. Like I said, 2 blue Fate for Scenes. I just think the opt is slightly better than cycling my hand in this build. Being able to set up my next turn, or like improving my next turn, is sometimes, I just think, better. Rattlebones, I got a one of. I'm not a huge fan of Rattlebones. Perhaps I'm just playing it incorrectly, but I did throw it in there just to try it out and see if I could ever get it at a time where I'm like, yeah, this was really helpful. I might want to play more of these. Mauvrian's Guys, playing a red and the 3 blues. I think the blues are more useful. You pitch them for most of the time, and then late game you pop them on there to just you get that threatening the go again, and you also get the threat of on hit threat. So even if they do have maybe a little bit of a life lead on you, or only like a small downside where they would normally let an attack go through, maybe they won't. Plunder Run, it's another action. It's a really good action too. If I can get it out of Arsenal, it gets that buff, and the on hit effect. Adding an on hit effect to any attack, I think, is just amazing. I think on hit effects are what push out a lot of blocks. That's what, because damage is just damage, which is something AJ told me today. Not that I'd never heard it before, but he just pointed out, because I do have this. I have a little habit of blocking with a card in hand, just to be like, oh yeah, well, like I can do this turn with 3 cards. Why not dump this 4th card? And then AJ at one point pointed out to me today that I blocked with a card when I could have used those resources to add, because I was playing Bravo, I could have used those resources to add Dominate with his ability, and I was like, oh my god, I could have. Why did I? Because I think it was a generic, so it was only blocking for 2. I was like, I could have dominated that attack and taken 2 more damage. If someone asked you like, hey, you take 2 damage to dominate this attack, I'd be like, yeah, sure. To dominate something and possibly push through, like, an extra 4 or 5 damage, yeah, of course I'll take 2 damage to deal 4. That sounds like a great trade, but I had never really thought about it like that I could have not blocked and done something more that would have put through more damage. Anyways, onto the actual deck. Arcanic Crackle, playing the reds and the blues. Again, this is another late game attack, or something where I could like pay for an action before it, or have like a really crap hand, and if I don't have any rune chance, it's just like, oh well, I'll just throw down an Arcanic Crackle, attack for 3 and deal 1 arcane damage. And the blues are mostly about pitch, and then maybe late game if I get desperate and I'm blocking out a lot, I can throw down, I can block with 3 in hand or something, 3 in hand in an arsenal, and then throw down an Arcana Crackle next turn. And it's just like, yeah, I'm coming at you for 1 and 1, and it's annoying. So like maybe they don't block it, kind of like a Kodachi. You look at it and you go like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna let it through just so I can have all cards in hand. Um, at least that's my thought process. I don't know how well that's going to work out. Ninth Blade of the Blood Oath. It's just a one of. I don't think this deck is going to often get to the rune chance required to play it for free. So I didn't want to have more than just the one. I might up that to two if maybe I'll swap out an Art of War or something for a second Ninth Blade if I find myself getting to enough rune chance to possibly play it off of just like that in a blue or something like that. Because that's theoretically another card where I could, crack Blood Sheath, play an action before it, Blood Oath. It's a waste on the Blood Oath because it already has that effect, but I can crack Blood Sheath to get that for free and then pitch cards to play Blood Oath, that kind of thing. Because it is a really good attack if you can get the rune chance up and pay like almost nothing for a 9 attack, or pay nothing literally. Art of War, I think it's possibly really good. It's not as good as when it's in chain. If we're talking about Runeblade here, because the banish for me isn't as good. Generally, what I'm probably going to do is give the +1 and go again. In all reality, that's almost definitely what I'm going to do almost every time. Because then I can, attack Art of War +1, go again, maybe push through some extra damage, and then I could pitch to Grasp, or I could attack again, or I could read the runes, or there's a lot of things you can do with that go again, so I think it's totally worth it. Consuming Volition, I thought about playing the red, but I think I already have too many reds in the deck, or I think I'm already at my capacity for reds. I don't want to play too many. So I put it in as 2 yellows and 1 blue. The blue really is, uh, I don't know. It's mostly a pitch. And see, this kind of makes me. I'm thinking about it again, and maybe I'll take it out because I just said I don't know what it is really. I was thinking of the blue as like a late game. You pitched it all game, and then really you're putting that 2 in there to put pressure on them because, like I said, on hit effects really make your opponent take cards out of their hand. I got a 1 Atoma Faendal. This is literally just to have a big hand turn and possibly gain some life. It's a good arsenal play. I don't think I'd ever. It would be very rare for me. If this is also something to play, very rare for me to play it from hand. This is something that I would put in arsenal and then next turn, Mage Master, Tome of Faendal into something. Keep going. I think it's a great combo if I haven't already Mage Mastered with other things. 3 Dread Triptychs, phenomenal attack if you can pop it off and get all of the effects, and then just a solid pitch card for a deck that needs some blues. I wanted to have a high blue and yellow count just to be able to drive through multiple things, playing your action and then attack, action, attack, action, attack, that kind of thing. Arcanite Shard, because yeah, it's a 3 pitch that lets me create a rune chant. Sign me up, especially if I can, get that Mordred Tide, pitch Arcanite Shard to play something else, and just it just rune chants everywhere. And then last but not least, Snag. This is a sideboard card. It's mostly for chain. When they are popping off on that big turn to just, oh yeah, you're gonna play a Riftbind, Snag. To just stop that snag from going off. But yeah, that is the deck. So if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, you think I'm going crazy? Is this deck terrible? I don't know. I put it together and I want to play it. I'm scrolling really fast for this video, but I put it together and I want to play it. So if you have any thoughts, please drop them in the comments. I am going to probably, hopefully, what's today? Today's Friday, Saturday. Okay, so I'll be able to take this to... No, I won't. I'm just going to take this to Road to Nats. I'm not even going to be able to... I'm going to get some games in. I need to do some webcam games. I need to play this deck before I just straight up take it to Road to Nats. I just realized that I built a new deck right before. I have no other local armories before my next Road to Nats. Fun times, guys. Fun times. Thank you for checking out the video, guys. Thank you for checking out the channel. Remember that I do have my giveaway going for some of these awesome cards, these promos, the Herald of Protection promos that we got in our content creator kit. So if you are looking to snag some of those promos, definitely go over to my Mail Day Tears of Happiness video, which I will actually put a card. The first time I'll use a card in a video. That should pop up in like the top right corner or whatever. Go to that video, comment what you think I should do to raffle off the mat. And if I like your idea, I will tell you, and then you will get a free set of the promos. And that is available worldwide. So if you want those promos, go ahead and comment on that video what you think I should do to raffle off the mat or give away the mat, or how I should distribute the mat to the community. That's a good way to put it. It doesn't imply that I'm doing it any certain way. I just wanna give it out, man. I want to give it to the people. I want to help this channel grow. That is the whole point of this content creator kit, is to help the channel grow and help the community too. And I'm really excited to help the channel grow. Speaking of, we're almost at 250 subscribers. When we hit 250 subscribers, I'm going to give away a bunch of those Herald of Protection promos to fans, to subscribers. So you got to be subscribed. So if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. We're doing deck techs, we're doing gameplay videos, we're doing Road to Nats coverage. So you're going to get a lot of that this weekend. So hopefully I will see you guys again soon, and we'll have some good news about this deck. Hopefully I'll come back and just say, hey, it went really well. I don't think we need to make too many edits. Or I'll come back and be like, scrap the whole thing. We're throwing it out. Let's start over. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. May the pulls be with you.